Okay, so good morning,
Hello.
everyone. Today I'm going to be your host, and you listen to only my voice for the 10 minutes. We all are a little busy with many other things, and we're working very hard for the March event, so I didn't want to disturb others and pull them in. So, as we all know, we'll breeze through the initial slides, but it's a mandatory thing because we always have some new people as well. So, we are women in construction. We are the real women in construction, and we're also called as TRWGC. Okay, so next slide, Dipti. We are a group of women in different parts of the construction field. We are professionals, we are entrepreneurs as well as entrepreneurs, and we have a presence in 18 cities. For the next one, you can go to the next one, Dipti. The Zoom is playing up with you also today. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, the vision is to be a global community that encourages, empowers. The word empowers is very, very important to us. All of us take it very, very seriously and enriches women in construction. Our mission is to have higher engagement of women in construction. So, we want more women to join this construction field and feel safe, feel there is a sisterhood that they can fall back on, and they're open to discuss any kind of issues they face in their various fields as well. And the values we stand for are integrity, collaboration, commitment, respect, and encouragement. And just to tell many of the new members, there's a lot of collaboration happening between us. Many of us work together on many of our projects. We also refer people. Sometimes we don't tell, that's about it. But I guess we've started the Monday gratitude thing where you can always give a shout out saying that, thanks for referring me to so and so person. So people understand that this group is referring people and this group does work together. This group does help people when they're looking for work, even if in whatever way we can. Okay, so that is what we stand for as values. Go to the next one, Dipti. And some of our objectives are these: create opportunities, mentoring, collaborate and execute, and of course, celebrate and recognize. So, if you've got any awards, you've done something great, please share it with us. We would love to put it on this platform so that people feel inspired. And we want women to feel inspired by you as well. So, please share and don't feel, Kare, kya hoga, and all that. Just put, please send it to us. We would love to give a shout out to you. And yes, we do have mentoring programs, so reach out to Amita for that. We are constantly creating opportunities. Like I said, we do put, if there is anybody asking for anyone, we keep sharing. If you feel that, yes, I'm looking for something like that, do ask. There will be somebody who will DM you as well. And today we are doing the learning part of it. Okay, so sorry, Dipti, you can go ahead. So the categories of people we have in this group, we are architects, we are landscape architects, structural engineers, lighting consultants, MVP consultants. We have contractors, developers, licensing, sustainability. We also have interior designers, manufacturers, digital transformation. We have now fabric designers, and we have a lot of unique categories. So we can pretty much all together 100% execute a project. That's what we've been trying for a long time now. Some of our new members, I'm not sure how many are here, but any of you are new members, kindly please unmute yourself and introduce yourself in 30 seconds. Anybody here today? Or if anybody wants us to hear you also, please unmute yourself and introduce yourself. It's okay. Okay, so if none of them are there, we've already introduced the top few members in the last visit, in our network session as well. And as you must have seen, we have large number of ladies joining us from Tata Projects, and we'll hope to see them soon. If not today, they will be there for the March event as well. So we're absolutely gung-ho about this collaboration, and thanks a ton to Sheetal, Sonali, and Amita for getting this and making this happen. This has been one big thing for us, wherein we've got the entire Tata group now as a partner with us now. So there will be many good things that will come out of this, and Sheetal has been constantly telling what will be the next steps, and I think it was put on the group as well. So please take all the opportunities that comes your way. So the next slide. So we are the founder members, and we are led by Sheetal, who's the president. So all of us have certain roles to play. She plays a much bigger role than us. So Madhulika is in charge of strategy, and she conducts all the offline meetings. Yogini is in charge of communications, and she, as you know, she has the she bills, and everybody has been sending to her. We are very happy with all the response we're getting. Amita has a she lead, so we have very inspiring ladies coming on a talk. We recently had one on Saturday, and she also helps the She Guides, where we have a mentor mentee kind of a program. This is a second one that's going on now. now. And that's me, Raji. I'm in charge of Elevates. This is She Elevates that you're in today. And we have something called She Networks an alternate month on a Friday at 5 o'clock. So it's a closed door networking where we choose one particular topic, break it down, and network with each other to understand what we can do and how we can help and what challenges we're facing. Parul is in charge of She Inspires, wherein she is more about bringing the teams together, the members together. So please reach out to her if you want to be heard in a spotlight series. And is the one who arranges all these beautiful industrial visits for us. And between us and all of the other members, as the ambassadors as well, in the next slide, we are able to pull this together. And we are really grateful for all the support we get from the ambassadors that you see on the screen. Avni manages Ahmedabad, Alina Delhi, Bhagwati from Bangalore, Navita from Hyderabad, Rashida Pune, Shilpa from Chennai, and Amita from Mumbai. So we are really grateful to these girls, and these girls are going to be your first point of go-to contact. If you want to know anything about the March event, you all want to come together, you all want to book together, please coordinate with each other. It'll be fun to come together for the event, stay together, go back together as well. So these girls are definitely going to be your first go-to point of contact for any other related matters as well. So the next slide. Yeah, these are some of the examples of She Build. We'll go a little fast on these ones. These are just some examples. So when you give us your work, we post it on LinkedIn, Insta, and all the digital media with a shout out to the projects that you worked on. So the next one. So this is available only for members. And these are the She Leads, wherein we had who's and who coming in to talk to us. We had Hema Malini ma'am as well. We had MEP consultants as well talking about us. And then recent one was on entrepreneurs, pretty much how they create an impact. I think the questions are amazing what Amita asked. And I suddenly realized that it's a very, very different ball game altogether when you're in the corporate setting and you have to still keep your identity going and you still want to grow. I think there are different challenges. So it was really nice to get a sneak peek into those kind of challenges. The next one. So this is She Guides. We did the first session. Now the second one is going on, wherein we have certain mentors and mentees which have been paired up based on what they want to learn and what are their asks and who are the ones who are happy to, be the angels or help each other out. So please reach out to Amita if you want to be part of the next series. So to the next one, please. This is about the industrial visits that we have done. We've done many. We're just highlighting some out here. We visited in Ahmedabad, we went to the WOW and then we went to Infosys Bangalore to see the STP. We all came back thinking the STP was so clean. God knows how the buildings are going to be. We also went to the Arc in Mumbai to see how Archana had designed the whole thing. What are the challenges while designing a big building and one of the biggest rooftop gardens in India. We went to IGBC Hyderabad to see all the innovative sustainable products as well. And of course, the recent one, if you see in the next slide, the recent one was to Pune and Mumbai, and that's what we were discussing before you all came. It was like a tale of two cities. So the Mumbai team couldn't reach Pune because of the highway being closed. So they went to Karjat to see the Preka Solutions, which was a precast factory. And we in Pune then carried on to Godrej to see the first 3D printed villa in Godrej. And of course, we visited Atishri because it gave us a very different perspective of how we should design for senior citizens. What are the things they're looking for? What do they need at that age? Ergonomic things as well as safety things. So it was a very nice insight. And we visited two Atishris, in fact, and the Godrej as well. So absolutely fun day. And thanks a ton for the ambassadors as well as for Sonali. These are our MOU partners, and as you can see, we are slowly adding. We would love if you have anybody else also whom you think can be a good partner for us, please reach out to Sheetal and we will take it ahead from there. To the next one. So these are some of our member stories and success stories. We normally have lots. So that's why I'm saying, please, 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 if you're posting somewhere, you've been part of certain panels, you've got some awards, kindly do share with us because that inspires others. And, as you can see, Vijay has been talking on a few occasions. So was Sujal, so was Sheetal, and Vijay and Ostraka got the Pride of India award recently. And so did Alina get an award at Ishri. So we're very proud of you girls and clap, clap, clap to all of you. And I'm sure there are many more success stories that we've not been able to share, but please do share on the groups as well. We'll pick it up for the next month. So to the next one, please. So what are the member benefits? Why should you be a member? So the reason that you should be a member is, of course, you get to feature on the she bills. You'll get speaking assignments. We try to see to it that now IDAC is coming, and there'll be many of these organizations. We try to get you speaking assignments in those organizations. We want to give everybody a chance. And then you get to network, because a network session is a closed door one. You get to network with other members as well, and really discuss behind doors what are the challenges we're facing. Last time it was all about, we are all going to have that nightmare happening where we have to now actually do the interviews for our staff for the performance reviews and stuff like that. So last time the network topic was on performance review. What are the challenges we're facing? What should we do? How should we pay them? And all that stuff was a topic last time. So we do a lot of these interesting topics. So request you to, of course, take the membership. It's a very reasonable amount and the benefits are very, very huge. The next slide. Yeah, this is how you can scan. If you are not a member yet, please scan and join. Of course, you can reach out to any of us also. We will be more than happy to tell you. Sheetal, do you want to talk about our 7th March conclave? Are you in range? Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think last meeting also I have invited you all. So we are all looking forward to, welcome you all to Mumbai event, and we all are working very hard to, uh, make something great. 1 minute, I'm just getting a call. Sorry.
Sure, I'll take
So,
it up. Don't worry.
yeah, please. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I'm
So,
looking forward to welcome you all and do register because this is in IIT Mumbai. So, registration is mandatory and we have to give photo IDs and everything for them to register. So, do register very fast. Thank you.
thanks, Atan. And seriously, girls, we're working very, very hard to make it a very eventful day. So please come over. It'll be nice to meet all of you. And from our past experience, is always fun that day. There
Yes,
is so much
Vasudev
energy in
ji.
the room.
Just one word. So this time's theme is be bold.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're expecting you all to come boldly dressed as well. Okay, so that will be fun. And we do have some awards for the bold dressing ones, like we had last time too. And it was always fun. That whole day is so energetic. So please do that. Do join us. And without much ado and not taking too much time, I'm really, really happy to introduce Smita Shetty Kapoor here. She's a CEO and founder of Kelp. And I met her at, we were part of the GSA. I think we met at the session with we were part of the IIM and then we did the Goldman Sachs and then we were also part of another session. I'm just blanking out, but I blame it on menopause. Please don't worry. But Smita will take it ahead and tell you. But why we are having Smita here today is she's going to talk about a topic that all of us have been discussing for ages and we couldn't find somebody to help us with this topic. So she's also has multiple clients, 28 years of experience and corporate experience, and she talks on posh, diversity, equity, and of course, inclusion. But what topic I told her to speak today was more about how do we navigate multi-generational people in our workplaces. So all of us have somebody our age, and then we have people up to 20 years or maybe even 22 years. So we have all the generations with all these nomenclatures, alpha, Z, whatever, millennial, all these kind of people working, and then we realize that more than getting the काम done, उनसे काम करा के लेना is a major challenge for us. So how do we handle such people and how do we handle them calmly and with a different perspective? And I think after this session we all are going to go back thinking, oh my god, why I didn't have this perspective. It's okay to be different. We just have to see how to handle them. So the whole floor is to you, Smita, and welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I'm so happy and glad to be part of this forum. It really means a lot that women holding each other's hands to pull us all up there. So happy and proud. I can't tell you, I'm beaming. I would want to write an article on this and put it on my LinkedIn. I will seek your help if y'all can help me
Sure, sure.
together because I don't know how many. I support a lot of companies who are into construction and all that, but I have not heard. I don't see any of my clients here too. So I am very surprised that they are not here. So I would really want this forum to reach out to so many women, and they are from every generation, right? I have known somebody who's working in actually one of the Tatas who says that when she started in the field, construction field and all that, she was one of, only woman among so many men, right? I am at one of my co-sisters is actually a road scientist, they call it. She works with Government of India to assess roads or gives them advices on how road can be done better. And she's on the road all the time. So she's part of various projects that government takes up. And I don't think she's ever known of this
Wow,
group. So I would be really happy to connect this group and make it
100%.
larger and bigger. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. So I know you all have invited me to talk about this specific topic, and more so, it is very important right now for us because currently, if you see, we have multiple generations at workplace. We have baby boomers, we have Gen X, we have millennials, we have Gen Zs already at workplaces. And nowadays, I see kids who are like not even 10, 12 also giving inputs to the corporate world, to workplaces. They have started coding, they have started creating their own companies, a 15-year-old, a 10-year-old. So all kinds of people are there. So more so important at this time to understand that what space they come from. So I take your permission to share my
Please
slide,
share your screen. Sure,
but
sure.
I would
Deepti,
want
can
to
you?
hear from y'all if y'all have any specific pain points that you are trying to address. Once I hear from you, I'll just take a few minutes from y'all to hear y'all. If through my presentation and conversation, if it is clarified, otherwise we'll take it up in the Q&A. Okay, any specific thing you want to share with me?
Maybe we can go through the presentation and then I'm sure there'll be flood of questions when they see the presentation. That's how it normally happens. So I think your presentation is really very clear and nice what I've seen last. So I think it should work. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. So, what I have tried to do from what I heard from Raji is, took inputs from her, put it together, massaged it a little bit. I've tried to put one or two case studies. I'll be sharing some of my personal experience within your industry. So let's see. All right. So, what are we trying to figure out? That how each generation has different values, different working styles, different ways of communicating with each other. What works well that may not work with the other person. Like I very consciously work with different generations. Okay, I'm myself a Gen X, but I very consciously had a director who's from baby boomers group in my company. So I ensure that he's there to mentor me from that perspective. Of course, larger part, y'all know that millennials are all over. They're 45% in the industry right now, right? So millennials form a big group of my organization. And what I do very consciously is once a week, I spend at least 4 to 5 hours with Gen Zs. Okay. I work with them directly. So they actually report to levels of people within my organization who could be millennials or Gen Xs. But I've taken permission from their leaders that Thursday is my day blocked to work with Gen Zs. So I have somebody from a lawyer, young lawyer who works with me directly, a salesperson who works with me directly, a client relationship person who works with me directly, to understand their perspective. So this is something that I do personally because this really helps me enhance my inner circle. Okay, how much ever I'm going to talk today is theory, but how much you practice, go back and practice, is something that is going to work with you. So that's the cornerstone of today's conversation, right? So we're going to explore some generational disconnects also, high level from perspective. See, it's what, 30 minutes, 40 minutes we're going to talk. We can't uncover everything and anything, right? Anything and everything. We will have to do it layer by layer. So today, whatever we speak, bear it in your mind, take it back with you, and I would want you to reflect, respond. Maybe my experience will be very, very different from your experience because your backgrounds are different from my backgrounds, right? So we can always compare notes. We can always think through, we can always reflect. Yeah. Also, we'll also learn of some strategies that I can share with you, which I personally use. I started with sharing my work style. So that is one of the strategy that I use to understand different generations and how they think, right? Okay, all right. So, see, basically, we have to understand why these generations were named these generations. What thought process have they built over a period of time? So let's understand a little bit of history, where it comes from, what has shaped them, and how they perceive what they perceive in work as well as life. So let's break that down for you. So when it happened, what has happened, and how it has happened, right? If I have to look at baby boomers, typically people who are born from 1946 to 1964 are baby boomers. Now, it is not hard coded, okay? There are some overlaps also, but if you look at various studies will give you a little bit of that years, could be little here and there, but that's fine. This is for our understanding that people who were born around World War II, okay, or after World War II, were called baby boomers. Now, they were recovering from war, right? They were part in amongst the civil rights movements that was going on. Feminist waves were starting. People were talking about equal rights. Still in India, maybe a little bit, India was recovering from getting our freedom, and we were also figuring out what is happening, right? We had already had 100 plus years of Britishers ruling us. We had forgotten what India was truly, because over a period of time, Britishers had told us this is what India is. A simple thing like we didn't even have blouses and petticoat in our saris, which was brought in by Britishers to us. And now we tell, okay, if somebody's not wearing a blouse and petticoat, are not considered appropriate, right? So I'm just giving you a very basic thought process that how our thought processes have been over a period of time jaded, or multiple layers have come on it, right? What did these guys do? Because and when I'm saying guys, I'm meaning gender neutral, okay? So it is, so you have to be very, very cautious of every word that you use. So my use of guys is gender neutral. So we were loyal, okay, because we came from that generation where whatever, yes sir, three bags full, whatever they said, we agreed to it. So we were loyal. We had a respect for authority. Whatever our leaders said was cast on stone. There was no discussion, there was no argument. We preferred job security. We wanted a job which will run with us for at least our entire work life, right? And we were committed. Commitment was very, very high. There was no discussion about that you have to reach office at 9 o'clock. 8:50 we were at workplaces, okay? And there used to be a late mark if we are beyond 9:10, okay? So that is the culture that we come 1946 to 1964 folks came from. Then came our Gen X, and as I told you, I'm part of Gen X. This is 1965 to 1980. Okay. Now, what were these guys? These guys were into technology just stepping in. Okay. Technology was somewhere in Americas. We were hearing that there is a computer wave which is coming there. Computer wave. I'm not even talking about information technology, but computers are being designed and all that. Feminist wave grew a little bit on the higher side. If you look at India, now there were women taking up jobs which were that of teachers, bankers, a specific timelines where they can take care of kids. So these were and they were very few. Again, the percentage was very, very low. Dual incomes were coming up, but maybe not that strong. So what happened to their thought processes? They were looking for, independence from what they were restricted to, a little bit more independence. They were looking for work-life balance. And this, I'm talking about people who were born after maybe 1970s. They were looking for informal communication. Maybe they didn't only look at memos, the telephone conversation was also considered. But they were still skeptical. They were not, uh, they wouldn't trust people very as is, right? There was a skepticism across. This was because of what is happening to their workplaces. Can there be security? There was a turmoil with the mills going down the drain. So this was that time, right? Right? And then came the millennials. Millennials start from 1981 to 1996. There is a discussion whether it is still 2000 or 1996. It is a mix, okay? Now, millennials are 45% in our workplaces right now, okay? Baby boomers have actually, the last remaining around, I think, 5% baby boomers are in the workplace. There are around 25% of Gen X's in workplace. Millennials are the largest lot. They are around 40 to 55% of millennials at workplace who are there. This was the time when liberalization was there. Internet was all over our faces. They were, in fact, born with internet. Some of them, of course, after 1990s, they were born with internet. The whole globalization aspect, the globe started becoming smaller. Okay, traveling from India to US, vice versa, any part of the world was just few hours away. Conversations started happening. A lot of BPOs, KPOs started emerging. So night shifts became very rampant. People started having a lot of money in their hands. You know, the spending capabilities were also very, very high. Now is a time people started looking for purposeful work. They wanted purpose. Okay, ikigai, if you all have laid your hands on ikigai, a Japanese concept. You know, if you look at that circle, and it's a very different conversation because ikigai cannot be explained. So purpose of life, people started seeking that why am I doing what I'm doing? They were open for feedback. They started looking for flexibility, and this was more of collaboration. So now people were not insecure about their jobs. They were looking at how we can work as a team, work as a group. Okay. So imagine that thought process of job security was that became our, you know, if you look at the Maslow's theory, that was a basic given that job security is there. Now, what next? Right. So this was the thought process when the millennials came up. And now are the folks in question who are 25% in our workplaces, our favorite Gen Zs. They are from 1997 to 2010 or 12. So that's a discussion. I said there's an overlap. If you notice, the generation numbers have also started reducing. Gen Alphas are already there. I thought Gen Zs will go on for a few more years. It's hardly what, 10, 12 years. Okay. Now Gen Alphas, earlier it used to be for at least 30, 35 years, and then it's so that the generation gap has also started reducing, right? So that means I have two boys. One is Gen Z and one is Gen Alpha. They have 2 years of difference in their age. So you're understanding they're so close, but there's a gap. So
Correct.
these guys are 25%. Do we understand them is a question that we'll talk about. Now, they were born with social media. Okay, I think they started eating their food with TV. They were given phones when they were 10 or 12-year-olds, right? So they are born with social media. They love remote work. COVID had a big job to play there. Remote work is something that they think is their right. Okay. And there was global crisis, as I spoke about COVID, and they have actually, there are COVID batches, they call themselves. They passed out during COVID batches, right? So they actually have seen something which, imagine an experience of us as a 40-year-old when COVID happens, vis-a-vis a 10 or a 15 or a 20-year-old when COVID happened. So how they looked at COVID would have been very, very different from how we looked at COVID, right? And that has also shaped their thought processes. Right? So they were taught about inclusion in school. We were not even spoken, we didn't know the word inclusion, forget spoken about, right? Uh, there was a lot of importance paid on their wellness. So they were said that if your mental health is spoken about, Trust me, if I would have told my mother that I don't feel like it to do something, she would have given me one slap and said, do what? Do this, move on. But imagine now a child saying that I don't feel like it. A mother will sit down and understand that why don't you feel like it, right? Okay, so this cut to your workplace. If an employee is saying, I don't feel like it doing that, vis-a-vis when we told, I don't feel like doing that, how would you presume that? How would you absorb that? How would you work with that? Okay. Engagement is, I won't say very high. We are in a mix. Okay. This is a generation which believes in texting rather than talking to people. Okay. This is a generation which says that I would want to go clubbing, but they are okay to go clubbing in the morning. Okay. There are morning parties which are happening, which is coffee parties. They don't need alcohol to be high. Right? So this is, which is cut to maybe millennials. For us, clubbing was, I mean, I'm Gen X, but millennials, clubbing was night out. This generation is okay for a coffee clubbing. There is a switch, while they do night clubbing also, but I'm saying the thought process is changing. It's different. And this is exactly what they bring to workplace. I'll give you my own experience in my company. Recently, one of my Gen Zs actually came to me and said, I don't like the tone of my manager. I think she is disrespectful. All right. So I said, okay. And she reached out to me directly saying that I want to, and they don't hesitate reaching out to the CEO of the company. We would have thought 100 times, right? She had one interaction with this person and she said, Smita, I want your time. She blocked my time. And I heard her out. She's saying, I don't like the tone. So I asked her that, can you explain to me, give me examples? Okay, she said, listen, I know I did not do A, B, C, D, E, F. There were 5 or 6 things she was supposed to do, which she did not do. And her manager was so furious and so angry. And it's very human for her to yell and shout. And she said, why the hell you did not do? And this and that. She said, I felt disrespected. Imagine, and I feel all of y'all have at least 20 odd years of experience when I was listening to y'all. Imagine this, when you started your workplace and you didn't do 5 or 6 things that you were scheduled to do, and your manager raised the voice. Would you even bring it? You would say, yes, it is my mistake. I didn't do it. Let me do it. Cut to this person saying, I don't like the tone. How do you think as a CEO of the company you should deal with this? I would leave you with the question. Let's see if we can find that answer. Some assumptions versus reality. Gen Zs are lazy and uncommitted people. Folks, if you want any questions to be answered in between, please ask me. It's perfectly fine. I would love to have an interactive conversation. Okay, because I tell you, do I have answers for all the questions? No, but maybe I have been working in the space and I have experience to having 400 organizations with whom I support. Maybe that's the only edge that I have, and that's why I can bring in those experiences. And I'm sure, in your daily life, you have that. So we're going to exchange conversations and experiences here, right? So coming back, this is an assumption versus reality. Gen Zs are lazy and uncommitted. Any thoughts here? I'll bring in these statements, okay? Boomers, okay, my boys call me boomers, by the way. So anybody who is not Gen Z are boomers to them, by the way. Oh, boomer, they'll call me. It's a reality. So boomers resist technology. Millennials only want praise and perks. They don't look for, assignments which are challenging. They don't want breaks in workplaces so that they can achieve the purpose in their life, something different they can do. Older generation don't like change. Younger employees don't respect. Let me bring you some statistics to that. 30% of global workflows will be comprising of Gen Zs by 2030. That means if you have 100 people, 33 of them are going to be Gen Zs. Right now also we have around 20-25% of them. And 2030 is not too far away, 4 years far away. 42% companies provide training for managers on managing diverse age groups. 53% global executives do not include age in their DEI policies. So ageism is not even spoken about. Trust me, while diversity is comprising of gender, it is comprising of religion, region, your sexuality, all right? And many other things. I can go on listing, ability, and many, many other things. Age is not even spoken about. And trust me, this is where we lose out because we don't think from a perspective of a person who's brought up in a very different background, culture, time, right? A person's reaction is because how they think. Now, how do you think they think? Because they are brought up in a particular fashion. Yeah. 83% global executives believe multi-generational workforce are key to business growth, which means that it is important for us to have all kinds of generation. And I think I am one of the 83% person. So I very consciously work in having different generations at my workplace. And I personally spend time with each one of them to understand what thought process they come from. Why do they think when they think that way? So where friction lies, let's figure that out, right? So career growth, career development. Yeah. So different generation define and pursue career growth very differently. Younger employees may seek a rapid progression and they would want frequent role change. Again, it is a broad perspective. Okay, if you go to the micro level, every person, as I said, have different thought process. I'm giving you a very broad thought process. Older generation employees, they may value stability, long-term loyalty to one role or to the company. Okay, so this is how the career growth is spanned. Now, for example, a Gen Z employee expects may expect a promotion like every year, but Gen X won't talk about it till they have achieved some major milestone in their life, and then they would go to their leader and say, "Yeah, I've been in the system for so long. I have manage this job profile, and that is why I deserve promotion." Okay, I remember when I took up workplace first role in corporate. This was year 1997. The first thing my manager said, when we were discussing about performance appraisal, and I was an HR person, so they said the person should have started performing the role of a higher of that where they're seeking promotion. So if you are an HR executive and you want to be an HR manager, you should already be doing that role for at least 6 months to 1 year for you to claim that role. Right? Now, this is what I was trained. Now I'll tell you if there is a discussion happening in a group, right? Lot of people, and this is man to woman, I know it is nothing to do with generation, but I want to give you a personal example. Actually, more than my example, this is Sheryl Sandberg. When she wrote her book Lean In, she had put this example. She said if there is a discussion happening of a promotion in a group full of men and women equally distributed, 50% men, 50% women are in that room, and the the CEO of the company says that who's ready to the next role, okay, 100% of men will raise their hand, but hardly any women will raise their hand, because a man thinks I will get there and learn that role. A woman thinks I have never done that role, so how can I be ready for that role? Cut to the generations. Now, that thought process is not only man, woman, that thought process remained with Generation X millennials. Okay. Now, this younger generation is raising their hand and saying, I will get there, learn it. You promote me. I deserve it. This is also comes from a thought process that these Gen Zs were brought up by Gen X's or millennials as their parents, and they have taught them to raise their hands. Are we to blame them? I mean, are we to blame ourselves for their whatever they are doing at workplace? A thought process for you. Micro retirement is something very interesting. Okay, what is micro retirement? I want to tell you a very funny, not a funny, but anecdotal. This was a conversation I had had. So when I joined my workplace in 1997, I had this very senior leader who was actually retiring. He was 60 something, but he was very proudly telling me, Smita, I have never taken a break in my career. What does that mean? So he was from military. He served military for some years. Then he moved to construction company. By the way, I'm from a Gujarat. I'm a Gujarat Ambuja Cement product. My first job was there, right? So he was my leader in Ambuja Cement. So he was telling me that when I moved from army to becoming to joining Ambuja Cement, my last day at army would be a Wednesday, and Thursday immediately next day I would have joined Ambuja Cement. I didn't even wait till the weekend. That time weekend was only Sunday, but I didn't wait till Saturday. And on Monday, I joined the workplace. No, it was continuous. And he was very proud of that fact. And we all nicely clapped for him. But cut to now. Micro retirement, I don't feel like it. I'm quitting my job. I will go 1 year, go around the world. I've collected enough money to do that. After 1 year, I'll think what I want to do. Could we even think about it? And in the beginning, when Raji introduced me, she said 28 years. Yes, 28 years. I had taken a break of 1 year when I was expecting my second child. Okay. And that too, I thought as a woman, I could afford maybe. Imagine my poor husband has never taken a break. But am I expecting my kids to be able to do that? Yes. They should be able to do that. They would be able to do that. Micro retirement is something which is a very common term. They would take that break to study. They would take that break to pursue a passion. They would take that break for family requirements. Retirement is available, and they would take that.
Smita, are you sharing something? We see only the career growth one dabba.
Uske niche you can't see micro retirement.
हाँ हाँ
Huh.
हाँ
I'm still here. Yes.
okay great. हाँ
Next
now it's
is,
coming.
next is feedback and communication.
Just one question over here, Smita. Sorry. Maybe I can park the question in the chat box.
Sure.
When we talk about micro retirement during my times, like I am also 1970s born, so I'm in the same generation as yours. So we used to always fear that if we take a break, sorry, my video is off. If we take a break, we might have that setback in the career. But right now, when you are dealing with people, they don't think so. So
Exactly, Amita. Bang on. Bang on. You're so right. Because nowadays, organizations are saying it's okay if taken a break, but you've learned something, like you have done something. So you have enhanced
But
your
it
job
might not
performance.
happen in cases of each and every industry, right?
Exactly.
Because sometimes if you are taking a break, it means you are going back by some period, or you are not in touch with the work what you are doing. Then means I have seen that people are not ready to accept that, okay, that whatever they had learned, they have already unlearned, and they have to start from zero when they are joining back.
Yeah. So organizations, Amita, are now investing in upskilling them also.
Okay.
Bringing them like all what they'll do is they'll ask them to do various courses and people are also doing that.
Okay.
Okay, so if they take a break, they when they come back, they would have gained some skills and they are joining back.
Okay.
They will give you a very strong reason that why they should be hired, and at the same level, which a peer would have been there, who would have continued to
Understood.
serve. So that's a discussion that you should be prepared mentally to have.
Sure.
Right.
Understood.
And I'll
Yeah.
give you
Thank
a little bit more background. I
you.
consciously hire women returnees. Okay. So at Kelp, we are very clear that we want to place women returnees. So in my team, we are 30 permanent staff. We have 25 women who have come back after 8 years, 10 years of break. So we have
Oh,
upskilled them and
okay.
then hired them. In fact, from my team, now they get hired by other organizations, and I'm very, very proud of that. Okay, so they
Interesting.
get so this is something works well for me. I'll tell you that also. I run a company for profit. It is not a non-profit organization, right? When I hire them, I tell them that I will be investing so much. What I need from you is next 2 to 3 years of commitment that you will not move, right? Still, it is not a bonded labor if they want, but people work.
They
Salary.
will stay back. If you are ready to upskill them, definitely they'll think
Yes,
twice. Yes,
yes.
agreed.
So we spend time on upskilling them. So my retention is quite high actually. And
Okay.
I also provide them a camaraderie. Okay, I provide them with a flexibility because they are running the house. Still, they are running the house. They're expected to run the house. So I provide them with a lot of support. So I get very good resources. And these are, they have been toppers in their schools. These are women who have been on the top, but for some reasons have not been able to be there. So I get them at a market rate, which otherwise, if they would have competed, they would have had a very high scale.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thanks. Thank you so much.
anytime. So next is feedback and communication. So generational differences show up in tone, in style, in choice of communication channels, right? Um, Now, I had a complaint recently from one Gen X saying that he was having a feedback conversation with one of his team members, and she kept saying bullshit. I'm sorry, I'm using this word in the group just to give you an example. So I'm like, okay, it was so offensive. Okay. And he's like, I said, okay, I hear you. What else did? No, she slammed the door also, she went. Okay. So I made a note of it. Now, cut to if you ask Gen Z, it's like, what does that even mean? It was a term because what he said didn't make sense. So I just said that, right? Will we be able to? I mean, I don't think a Gen X millennial would ever use that word. In fact, we don't use the word. We would say BS, a short form. If we have to use the F word, we'll say the F word. Okay, but for them, it is a punctuation. It is a full stop. It's an exclamation mark. It is a sentence on its own. Yeah. So the thought process is very, very different. Yeah. The use of words are very different. Now, older employees may prefer formal emails while younger generation lean on instant messages. This is something that I said the other days. I told you, right? I spend my Thursdays with Gen Zs. So I was speaking to this particular person and I said, you should talk to this person and get this sorted. Why are we even going back and forth with it? So suddenly one of the persons said, see, for them also, they work with me. I have tried to remove the barriers, but there are some barriers. Oh, you're working with the CEO of the company and all that, right? So subtly she said, but I prefer texting. I don't want to have a conversation. So I heard her out. Did I push back immediately? Maybe not. I needed some time to reflect in my head to come up with that what do I think? Is that the right option, or me picking up the phone and sorting it out is the right option? Okay. Right. Different comfort levels and giving and receiving feedback is also a big question mark, right? Now, example is a millennial might use a WhatsApp for work-related messages, and which maybe a Gen X or a boomer may not like it, and they would prefer a former email to come to them, right? Uh, Likewise, a Gen Z avoids emails. They will use, our team messaging system, Slack services, all that. ठीक है? Work outlook. What do we mean by that? So varying ideas on how work should fit into life. Our thought processes are very, very different from each other, right? Should life be part of work or work be part of life? That's a discussion. I think we were not taught because from the time we've got our laptops, I think our work just continued, right? But for them, they're very, very clear. Like in my team, I have from Gen Z two influencers. I have one DJ. That's their identity, right? So, what did boomers do? 9 to 5, mill time, the mill ring used to go, everybody used to line up, go to work, mill ring used to come off, and they would come back to work, right? Discipline, lunchtime during lunchtime, right? So, this and Gen X started seeing the flexibility. They had 24/7 work schedule, the work schedule which never got over, right? It continued. Remote work. I started Kelp in 2013 as a remote working thing, because I told you I hired women and 95% of our folks are women employees. So very consciously, what I told them is you can work from home when your kids are off to work. In fact, I have hired somebody who had an infant, and she used to work through the night when infant would go to sleep. But the passion for the job was so much that she would want to work, right? Yeah. Technology, comfort levels are different. Now with AI, we have to figure out how we are going to sail the wave. It is going to be very, very different, right? It is continuously, it is different. Are you upskilling yourselves to use the technology the way we used to use was very, very different, right? I remember my days when we just had computers. So if we had to send an email, there was an email office where we used to type out the message, type out the email ID, go to this email cafe, give it to the operator, and he would send an email. So we didn't have access to emails. This is year 1997. Cut to now, imagine we are having a video conferencing. Yeah. So very different. How do you use it? Sometimes you get stuck with so many things. Imagine AI is writing emails, and you can make out when you see those dashes that these are email, because they write in short and the AI will draft it beautifully and send it to them. I think they will forget their English language punctuation soon. Authority, respect versus authority equation. Now it's a big deal, right? In my team, we have very consciously taken away the sir and madam culture. I know in your industry it is very, very different. I come from Ambuja Cement. I remember that we had to call everybody with G, right? So it was Tapas G, Apurva G, and when we used to write, we used to address Shri uh, BL Taparia G. Okay, and whenever we talk to them, it used to be sir, right? Cut to today, it's different. So what I did consciously, and I don't know if that's something that entrepreneurs on this group can do, is we said we'll have first name culture. Let us put everybody on the same level. So people who join me from maybe a legal profession, because we hire a lot of people from legal profession, they start with ma'am, Smita ma'am. So I have to untrain them to call me Smita. It takes them little time. But I see that Gen Zs have adapted it much better than people whom I hire from millennial background. They still have a little time to let go of a ma'am or a sir. Yeah. I have to remind them that it's perfectly fine. Yeah. So it is going to be different. Hierarchy versus merit. If I deserve something, I have to get it. Even though somebody who has been in the system for 10 years doesn't matter. Now we connect these, what we spoke about, through process and through people. Okay? So same aspects, let's see how we go about it, navigating. So how can we navigate through various generation, those aspects? So different generation would view their success differently, view their what they expect from the organization differently, how they progress is very, very different, what they value is very different. So can we do something differently? Some strategies that I can give you is that have those movements, not necessarily only a vertical movement. Can there be lateral movement? Right? I'll give you an example. In my team, there is a very high performer, customer relationship person, extremely doing well. Now, she already has a manager, right? So that team has a manager who's doing extremely well. Now, her next jump would have been being managing a team. Now, we tried to figure out how to keep her engaged. So what we figured out is that there is a role of a posh SME in my team. So we spoke to her at length to understand what is it that she's expecting, exposed her to this, and she was very excited about it. So can we start thinking differently about how do we keep these people engaged via various roles, various career conversations, not just annual reviews, but maybe an impromptu conversation by bringing them, while you have it in your calendar, but consider this as an informal conversation, consciously spending time with them, right? This is something that I give it to you. And I feel it works beautifully. I know when the teams are larger, it gets difficult. But then for such, I would want you to train few of your team members also to be able to do that so that your strength multiplies. You can't be everywhere, right? So it is important that you train some people who can have great people conversations. Okay, we can train them to ensure that this is the objective that you want to achieve by the end of this conversation, right? Can we start doing that? What will happen is that will bring in trust. The Gen Zs will start trusting you more, that you are not giving them only a job, but you're giving them a career. Think from that perspective. Start thinking how you can give them flexibility, right? Like one of the team members in my team says that, I would want to do this particular role and I'm also an influencer, right? And that is when I need holidays during this particular time because somebody's sponsoring my trip so that I can go on that trip and, promote. So what we did is we said, okay, you can do that, but also promote, talk about kelp. So it's a win-win situation for us. So think how we cannot be stringent. I know we come from a construction industry. If we don't have SOPs, it will fall. But I want you all to push to start thinking a little differently from the SOPs that you have drawn for yourself, your organizations have drawn. what can we do within those SOPs? Or can we have conversations with our HR or senior folks to figure out what are those holes that we can pick? Because trust me, if we don't jump onto this, we will stop being relevant. So if you want to be relevant, the conversations should start. You should start thinking differently. Because as I told you, 2030, we will have 30% of Gen Zs. So if we are not already thinking that how do we want to create space for them, they will push you. Sorry for that, but it is important. So feedback and communication, use multiple communication channels. Don't restrict only to emails. It's okay for a WhatsApp. Figure out which all other social media platforms are active. Don't get into everything. If you get into everything, it is crazy. But ask them which is the most effective one that they think they communicate on, which they are comfortable on, right? Be on Instagram, it's fine. Don't want to put your own pictures, but be there to understand what is happening around. I know a lot of our Gen Xers and baby boomers, like, I'm away, it takes a lot of energy. It does. Can we dedicate 15 minutes of our time to be there, to understand their life? See, for us, if we are standing on a tall building and thinking I will know everything, then you trust me, you'll not know everything. You have to come to their level. I'm not saying that they are low and you are high, but there are times when you have to go to their level to understand or have that conversation with them. You cannot, standing on that tall tower, try to communicate. It will only fall in deaf ears. Yeah. Offer learning options in multiple formats. So very clearly, we don't only have a preaching conversation. Okay, we do a very hands-on conversation. I'll tell you a fun activity that I have defined for Valentine's Day. I'm sorry, I think I'm overshooting the time. And Raji, I just
Yeah,
realized it's 11:10. I'm so sorry.
yeah, yeah.
I,
We'll go a little fast on the
yes,
slides and then
yes,
maybe we take questions as well. Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. Sorry, I
No, no,
think
no issues. Thank you. The
you could have
topic is
given me a
really
heads up.
interesting, no
I
doubt. Yeah.
just saw my watch. Okay. Celebrate generational strengths. Call out Gen Z saying, there's such lovely people. Say that I have learned something from you new. Reverse mentoring is the way of life. Okay. While we know mentorship, I heard Raji saying how mentoring is important. Have you tried reverse mentorship? Try that. A Gen Z mentoring a Gen X. Very interesting. Yeah. Have fun and work engagement. I'll tell you about what I've done for Valentine's Day. Maybe I can email it to you all. Okay. Integrate technology platforms, learn technology. Oh, here I'm talking about reverse mentoring. Encourage storytelling. Ask them to open up. What did they do differently? What if you're being judgmental, they can see it in your eyes and your body language. You'll have to train yourself not to be judgmental. I know it's a hard ask, but it is important. Authority, create employee resource group within that age group. This is another way of having within your teams. You can actually, DEI persons in your organization can create ERGs for ages. Okay, educate leaders in generational perceptions of authority. Empathy walk is another very interesting way of understanding this. I can send you a note on empathy walk. Okay, it's actually, you must have seen this. Okay, people call out something and people who have experienced it come together. So by empathizing with each other, you come closer. It's a team building activity which works beautifully. I've got you a case study which Raji was saying that I should bring. That Kiara has recently joined your organization. She represents Gen Z. She's confident, creative, and passionate about her interest. Outside work, she works as a part-time as a DJ at a nearby club, something she sees as an important part of her identity and creative expression. Over the past few weeks, you've noticed that Kiara consistently arrives at office around 10:30 a.m., even though team's workday begins at 9 a.m. Some of your team members, mostly from different generation, have started expressing concern, mostly from different generation. Okay, they feel rules are being applied differently, and few believe she's being given special treatment because she's new or she's younger. Do you resonate to this case study?
I can understand. We have a few who are always coming late at work. And I was also told by some of the seniors, how come you're bearing it and all that? Why don't you do something about it? So I did explain to them, understand what's going wrong, but it's always traffic tire on. They don't try to get the
And
solutions.
do
But
the
then I
right
told them,
thing.
okay, yeah, so at least ask. And then I said, okay, but this, this is a task. So now from going onwards, I'm going to give you a task. And I'm telling you the timeline. You do it in the night, you do it later. I don't care. I want the work done. That's it.
Yes,
So
100%.
I guess that helped, and then everybody realized that if you come late, you're going to go late. So when they started going late, they realized they were more stuck in traffic.
Yeah,
So then I had to let them go through it and understand it's better to come early and leave early. But
yeah,
yes, like you said, they don't like to be told. I think they want to experience it themselves
yes,
and then take a decision. Yes.
absolutely. Actually,
I,
hear from them. Put yourself and hear their perspective that why they're getting delayed. Traffic था, so what? How can you do कि traffic नहीं हो सकता है?
yeah,
Okay, what can you do different? You tell us. I mean, I don't have an answer. They don't like to be dictated. They
correct,
like to be asked that what can you do to help this situation?
correct, correct.
That's
Yeah.
that's that's my perspective. And another thing that when I was speaking to Raji, I was saying that do not concentrate on the person when there is an issue, confrontational issue. Do not say, "Oh, you did this because of you. This has happened."
Mm,
That just shift your focus if something has gone bad up to the situation that you're handling. A client
mm,
escalation has come. Tell us how now. First is how this should be sorted immediately, and how this should not be repeated in future. Let's. What do you think we should be doing? Not you should be doing. We should be doing.
mm.
So that
Okay.
conversation shifts and continue. You might have to do this continuously over a period. I know it's very tiring. Trust me. But once they get a hang of it, then I love Gen Zs. I told you, I spend a lot of time with them because they make me feel younger. Let me tell you that. They make me feel that, I'm part of their gang. Okay. So
Mm.
it's good fun. So just switch over and see it. It will help. Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was so passionate about the subject. I went on and on.
No issues. Anybody has any other questions on the group? You all can, of
In
course,
fact, I
unmute and ask.
In fact,
So,
I just had this, after hearing here, something
Uh,
which I feel is that, this is something which was we as an inner people, what we used to feel in during our young time, but
Yeah.
they are our reflection today in terms of, if we have to really put it right, they are our reflection. मतलब हम मन में सोच रहे थे कि this is what should happen with us. हम भी बोल सके, we also should have
Oh,
that
yeah.
expression and all that, but I think now they are our reflection, and in the reality it is happening. So I personally feel it's really very interesting how you've really put the entire thing in place.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And perfect what you have said, that they are saying it. What we thought, हमने हमारी
yeah,
बात दबा दी है, वो बोल रहे हैं. Right.
true. So then coming to the, I mean, I had a question as well. So why should we invest in these people? If they are going to be fluttering like butterflies, from one year this company, next year that company, why should we even invest in them? Or why should we even mentor them? Why should we even teach them? If they're not
Because
going to give you respect back or they don't understand the efforts we're putting in them, then
uh, just just think through what you just said, Raji, again. Can you for yourself rephrase how you're thinking?
I'm sure doesn't sound so great, but that is a practicality also because colleges don't teach much. They come to our
Yeah.
offices and they learn pretty much so much. We invest a lot of time on them, and then 1 year they'll be sticking with you and then they'll go, so it's again the cycle starts.
Yeah.
And not necessarily we will got out the 100% from them in that 1 year because they've not learned anything much in college. So you mentor them, you teach them. So it's first of all, you have to handle how they think, and then we have to teach them as well. So it's like we seem to be the givers out here, not getting much back.
So here you 100%. Outliers will be there. There'll be some people to whom you invest, and you will lose them. Do
Okay.
not burn your heart for them. They were going to go. They will go. But
Hmm.
are 100% of people like that? No. Now,
No.
it will be your intellectual ability to be able to identify who are those people whom you're going to invest and who will stay with you. Or even if they leave now, will come back to you. Okay. So how you break your relations with them when they move out is also important so that they can reach out back to you and come back. Okay. So if you have created an ecosystem which is conducive to them, trust me, not everywhere they're getting that.
Hmm.
They are shameless in coming back. We hold a grudge. मैंने वो नौकरी छोड़ दी, I won't go back, whatever happens. But they are not. If you have created a culture for them, they will come back to you. So just switch the thought
Hmm.
process and create consciously an ecosystem. A, they will stay back. B, if they quit, they will go. And three, there will be outliers. कितना भी कर सर
Hmm.
छोड़ो कुछ नहीं करेंगे. There will be those outliers. So don't burn your heart.
Hmm.
So you
I
have to now switch.
no,
Don't
so
get
yeah,
attached.
just one point over here. Sorry for interrupting you,
No
but
worries, please.
so like yeah, what Raji said, similar case. Like we had taken freshers from college and we trained them. Whatever salary we were giving at that point of time. They left for double the salaries. When they want to come back, they are not means whatever they learned over here, and that's why they are getting double the salaries.
Correct.
Now it becomes very difficult if we have to take back at the new salary levels,
Correct.
because I have to still maintain a balance about taking in new people, training them. So this becomes a challenge. So even if they want to come back, we don't want to take them. So
Correct.
then, in such kind of situations, how do you deal with?
Yeah. So think the effort that you're going to put to train the new guys. Now, these guys are going to start giving you from day one. Vis-a-vis, you will hire a new set of people, train them again for 6, 8 months, and then they start giving you. So do that math. Okay?
No, I'll do that math. But what happens is that after 1 year, they will expect the new generation, new people who are coming in, they'll expect the same salary levels as the people who have written, right, after a year or so. There, the whole Jamila starts then.
Okay, so you're saying that now you have enhanced these guys' salaries. So the new guys, no, you have a method. There will be a high potential people who will get that bunch, right? There will be somebody who's trained that much only, but may not be eligible for that much. So don't take them because then again you'll have to invest. So thoda sa, I hear you. I know what you're saying. Like right now, also one of my team members has got double the salary and she's got a offer. She comes to me and says, Smita, and there are three of them, okay? There are three of them who've come back saying that we have got this offer. You want to put down your papers. Now, out of that three, I told these two guys to go. No problem. Great. Congratulations. Right? Because I also run a very tight ship. Right? But this one person I have retained and I've given her, and she told me, my take home is, and I'm giving you the number, my take home there will be 68,000. I'm okay if you give me 60. Right now, I'm giving her 45, which is a big jump. Per month, 45 is her take home. She's asking 60, which is a big jump for me. She's like, I'm getting 68 there. And she showed me very
Internet problem at her end or my end?
Yeah, no, no, no. She's frozen.
Okay.
I think net issues. Um, Let me check if she's able to come back. But I
wouldn't be
think
able
many have
to.
already left.
No,
Sorry,
no, she's
Smita. I
there.
think there was some net issue.
There was some net issue.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I don't know where
yeah,
you got me.
yeah. So I guess you were talking about whether you want to keep her or not because though she is asking that high salary and
Yeah.
it was
So
way too higher than what.
I have retained her. I've given her, but the last two folks, I said, thank you very much, because I'll have to invest a lot of effort in. They're not there yet.
Right.
Okay. So those are the decisions we'll have to continuously make. As I told you, do I have answers for all? Maybe not. Okay. But I can share out of my own experience. Um, I consciously work on detaching myself also, because finally, I don't want to have that heartburn.
Yeah, we all are learning that now. We have started that process after this Gen Zs, and I mean, I get what you're saying also. There are a lot of merits in them too, but it's a sad generation when I look from their point of view. They're burning bridges much faster than
Yeah.
we were burning bridges. I look at it, they're burning bridges and doing suicidal relationship kind of things, the way they speak and whatever. But yeah, it's a perspective.
It's a mix
Mm,
also. I see some, like, it's a great mix.
sure.
One thing is,
Some are fine,
from
yeah.
our side, see, we can't control them. But what we
Yeah,
can do is maybe try and understand, okay? Are they burning bridges because we have not created ecosystem for them? Are we reaching out enough? So we can't change their mindset. But can
mm,
we tap on our mindset to be understanding their perspective is something that I would want you all to leave the thought with.
agreed.
Yeah.
It's been
I
a
had
absolutely beautiful session. Sorry, yes, Sridhar.
Yeah, just this reverse mentoring. Actually, that's why I'm speaking up. I'm 68. So, but I had two employer. One they joined as interns. So I wanted to know just gender matter because the girl who joined as a mentor stayed with me for 25 years,
Wow.
and the boy who joined, he was with as an intern, and worked with me for about 2 years. Left, but now he is the MD of a organization called Organo. His name is Nagesh. So that gives me a lot of pride because they're doing very different work, and landscape's a huge part of it. So the profession, what we have trained him to do, he has given back. And of course, everywhere we meet, even today, after so many 30 years, he says, that I interned in your office and that's why I'm here. Now, that is, and here you have this girl who stayed with me for 25 years before, of course, getting married and going to Australia. So, is there a gender difference and all that? And, is it okay? Like, both have given me, I've got something back from both, isn't it? So, what is the a core issue? What are the core issues here? Like, I'm thinking, is it about gender or something? Because the girl who stayed back, maybe she stayed back because of security or the
Yes.
like
Yes.
not being able to just leave and start on her own. Is it just that, or was it a good place? Like, did I do something right or something wrong, or was it a gender thing?
First of all, yes, you did something very, very right. So that's why they are both connected to you, right?
Hmm.
So, everything, thought process, gender is, of course, one big area. And as you rightly said, the security at work, a woman knows that, okay, I can go back home at 6 o'clock and, also help my family. A man is okay. He must be touring all across. He doesn't care that he has to come back. Unfortunately, we are from that generation where women do two full-time jobs, right? While we are
Yeah.
training our Gen Zs not to do that. So yes, it does matter. The thought processes matter, ability to take a risk. Okay, all that. So there are multiple things that plays around. Um, I remember when I was quitting Gujarat Ambuja Cement, this was year 2002. I had so many of my relatives coming and saying, "You're mad or what? Such a cushy job you're quitting," because I was ready to take a challenge, right? And I don't think I would be heading a company today if I wouldn't have done that. I would have been in Ambuja Cement for maybe I would have done well. I would have been the head of HR there or maybe head of the company there. I don't know. But I'm here because I took a risk.
So if somebody wants to leave also, after working with, it's a good thing because uh, they are trying to, kind of fly and all that. So I
100%.
don't think we need to, like you had mentioned, burn your heart out or whatever
Yeah.
you had said. I loved your talk, by the way.
Thank you.
So maybe it's a good thing to let go when they want to go.
100%. 100%. It's very important to figure out. See, you have to, and do your math is what my thing is. That if it works for you to understand why they're leaving, it is not always for money. Okay.
Hmm.
So if you
Hmm.
can provide them an ecosystem, if you can provide the money, if you can help them solve the problem that they are looking at, as I told you, most of them are looking for careers. Can you offer them a career? Can
All
you
right,
show them
right.
a path? Right.
Mm,
So
right,
look
right.
at all that aspects. See, you are a businesswoman finally, right? So you have to figure out what works for you. Let
Correct.
go of the people who are holding you back. So you will have to constantly keep working that what works for me. They will think what works for them, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
True. Thank you so much,
Hello,
Smita,
Smita.
for your time.
1 minute. I would
Rupali.
just like
Yes,
to,
Rupali.
yeah,
Sure.
yeah, yeah. Smita, wonderful session.
Thank
And I was the principal. I was handling the academics for past 15 years. So millennials and Gen Z under me continuously for almost, I think, 2,000 to 3,000 of them I have dealt with. And your session was absolutely bullseye. I
thank
am extremely pleased and glad that you gave it a thought in this context because this change of thought is needed to handle today's millennials and Gen Zs. And as you rightly said, that even though you might not find many, as in our generation we could find all skilled and technical and focused people who would be there, but even if you find one, they would make a remarkable change in your organization. सो
you.
डोंट हैव दिस हार्टबर्न फॉर ओ ये सब जा रहे हैं, लेकिन जो एक मिलेगा ना वो उन चारों का काम आपको करके देगा और
100%.
इन multifold level.
Yeah.
Trust me on that because I've seen my students working, switching, and they take their own time to believe. So I feel those who come back to you are your assets. So don't keep that grudge on. या ना गुस्सा आ जाता है कि मैंने सिखाया छोड़ दिया अभी आप पैसे, लेकिन वो एक को दे के देखो, ट्राई करके देखो कि अगर मैं इसे पे करती हूँ तो वो क्या देता है मेरे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को, एंड आई एम श्योर यू विल बी बेनिफिटेड फॉर श्योर. थैंक यू सो मच स्मिता, इट
Thank
वाज
you. Thank
वंडरफul वंडरफul
thank
फॉर
you
Thank
दिस.
so
you
much.
again, Smita. It was a lovely session, and this thing can go on and on. We have so many topics to discuss, but thank you again for your time.
Thank
And I will pass on all the feedback. There have been lovely feedbacks. I'll pass it on as well to you. And in case anybody wants any of these 4 slides or whatever, you'll be able to share, or you're okay for us to put it on our YouTube as well, right?
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
Just one
Okay.
lasting thought.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, we have to just stop judging. That should help a lot. We need to start working on that.
You need
Yes.
a lot of effort in doing that. Human beings are known. I mean,
Yeah.
we are that primitive. We have that primitive instinct of judging.
Correct.
Don't kill
Correct.
ourselves to judge, but consciously work on being unbiased.
Yes. Thank you so much, Smita. And
Thank
hope
you.
to see you on March 7th as well.
Sure. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
Bye, everyone.